Hello Australia, welcome to episode 706 of The Couch. The Bitchin' team is back for the season and we'll look forward to having them back. There they are, they're waving away, live in the studio. And later on we inspire with Nisha and her special guests. It's a great female event or women's event. We're going to be talking about that. Also talking entertainment with Alexander, talking music with Demelza, and finally she's got some ABBA news for me. Took her 2 years. Chris Howard is a chef. He's coming in to cook up a treat for us today as well. And that artist extraordinaire, Joanne Kaleli, will be coming in to paint me on set. So it's a big couch. Hope you can stick around. Episode 706 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred. In town, you can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh, oh.
Hello Australia, welcome to another episode of The Couch. Can we say hello to our fantastic friends over in Sydney and in Melbourne in lockdown at the moment? Last week I had 4 people actually take the time out to write to me and say we're in Sydney and we're enjoying The Couch, and we thank you for having it on air, and we always say hello to them. So thank you to those people. Thank you to Queensland, Tasmania, the Northern Territory, Canberra as well. I think they're in lockdown as well. And of course here in WA. Thank you to all, anywhere in Australia where I've missed you. If I haven't called out your state, we know you're there, and thank you for watching The Couch. Let's get straight into it today. We've got the team back, the Bitchin' team. Let me start with Chris Ilsley, broadcaster extraordinaire.
Hello, and by the way, the one state you missed was South Australia.
Thank you very much.
What has South Australia done to you?
Nothing. They're the only ones that are open at the moment.
I can tell you some things
Tasmania.
about South Australia.
Maybe you can tell us in a break. Chris Ilsley, thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
Jen from Have a Go News, Jen Merrigan, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having
Always
me.
the website for Have a Go News.
haveagonews.com.au or jump on our Facebook page.
And one of your favourite people that read Have a Go News is, of course, this man next to you. Where have you been, Ted?
Well, I lost my voice.
Yep.
It's not back completely. It could be the end of a beautiful career.
Hang on a second, I just got a note here from your wife.
Yep.
Ted
So
losing his voice equals bliss. I must have misinterpreted that.
Oh, look, she's okay, because every other part of his body still works,
But,
Chris.
you know, I thought Hollywood
Unlike
would be calling by now and saying we need you to fill in for George Clooney.
Yes.
But I can't because of my voice.
Well, there you go.
That's
what
all right.
can
Maybe
you
you
do?
can play somebody who's losing their voice. It's just a matter of creating the right character.
Well, how about we try it on Bitchin'?
Oh, yes.
Now, your topic today, a different
Well,
one.
I
it's
can
not
imagine
about
that. What's
voice.
your topic today, Ted?
Gee, no.
Anyway.
Bottle of beer. Now, it's about money.
Yep.
How much do you really need to exist? I saw where Ronaldo, the soccer player,
Yes,
spends
$500,000.
his day running around on grass and kicking a pumped-up ball.
But you got to admit he does it very well.
He does it very well, and I'm not knocking it.
Is he on
Good
about
luck to him.
$500,000 a day or something?
No, he's moving on to what will be worth at Manchester United, equal to just under $1 million Australian a week. However, our top-paid sports person here in Australia, Daniel Ricciardo, is earning about that anyway, about $44 million.
But they're
a
not
year.
the only ones, Ted.
But hang on a second, I have to interrupt here, and I'm sorry to interrupt you while I was interrupting.
That's never stopped you before.
It's never stopped me before, but I thought I'd better.
Yep.
Anyway, somebody like a sports star, like for example a soccer player, I can understand why they might argue they need to be on a lot of money because their career is limited.
Oh,
right?
but how
You're not
long
going to
does your
start off.
career need to be limited to if you're making $44 million a
But
year?
Ted-
Well, it depends.
Not a
Maybe he's
bad
living a rock and roll
Not a
lifestyle.
bad.
Can I also bring up the point that when we're talking about salaries, you've got, I only spoke about it a couple of weeks ago on radio, the guy that runs Qantas, the lady that runs the Commonwealth Bank, they're all on huge salaries.
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
Yeah.
someone running Australia Post on $5-6 million a year.
I know. But
Big money, isn't it?
and a Cartier watch.
There you go.
Well, they made such a profit they could have
taking it
bought
back.
about 50,000 for each of the posties. However, during the week recently there was that story where the CEO of the Brisbane Council
Yep.
earned
Prime
700,000
Minister.
plus, which is more than the Prime Minister and more than the President
Oh
of the
yeah,
United
no.
States.
Hang on a second.
Yes.
The Prez has
We've practiced this one.
has much cooler digs.
Yes.
Right, his aeroplane
Did you
is
say
far
digs or
more
dicks?
digs.
Oh, okay.
D-I-G-S.
He's got more than one anyway, whatever it is.
and
That's why he gets paid twice.
and his aeroplane is far cooler,
Yeah.
and so
But
too is his
honestly-
limo. I mean, mate, the CEO of the City of Brisbane does not get to ride around in as cool a limo
But what do
as
you-
the
but-
Beast.
But let's be really honest
Yes.
here. Do
Be
you not
really
think?
honest.
I saw that thing, the cutout with the three
Yep.
people: the Prime Minister, the Mayor of Queensland. Who was the third person?
Not the mayor, he was the CEO.
CEO.
yeah.
All right, and the third one was.
The President of the United States.
And basically, they
Yeah.
said, which one of these three? And they asked the public.
Yeah.
And the public thought that maybe the Prime Minister, maybe Biden, but it was actually the CEO of the
I
council.
thought about that, and I thought they didn't know him, which means he's doing his job.
Very
He's
well.
not out there smiling, or
Do you think it's Do you think it's fair when our council, our CEO of the council, is on about 300,000?
Yeah.
Hold the bus. The entire metropolitan area of Brisbane has one council. Perth at the moment has 30 councils.
I understand
Oh, yeah,
that.
If you add all the salaries of the Perth
Yeah, I
CEOs
tell you what,
up,
you've lit
I'm
a
telling
fire
you right-
underneath him
I'm
once you
telling
mentioned
right now, mate,
councils.
the
Yeah.
CEO of the City of Brisbane
I'll just
is on
doze
change
off
for
here
the
whilst
Coke
he
machine.
goes on.
Tell me
like a
something,
missile.
Jen. Can I ask you the
Yeah.
question? Do you think salaries have got out of control?
CEO
let Jen-
salaries,
yeah.
definitely, because
far
there's
too much.
a happiness money scale where it says you only need a certain. Once you get to a certain level of income, you actually are not any happier whether you earn over that or not.
Jen, can
and
I
it's
just say
actually
something
quite
here?
low. It's actually quite low.
I agree with you, right? Money does not buy happiness. But I would be prepared to bet, and I would certainly love to find out if it buys a better quality of misery.
Well, what did
Or
they used
a
to
better
say?
group
Yeah,
of
well,
friends,
it's better to
maybe.
cry
Oh,
in
no,
a
you rent them, you don't
Mercedes
buy
than
them.
in.
There's a
than-
saying, it
In
says,
actual fact, I read some research about wealth and the wealthiest people on this planet, and what it's all to do with is competing against each other.
correct.
It's like a space race.
yeah,
of
that's
all
a
that
wonderful
lunar.
example.
I just find it amazing that you've got CEOs at a time of COVID, a time of people being homeless, a time of war in different parts of the world, and here we are, a Qantas CEO could be on about $10 million.
Well,
And,
Well,
and it's the grounded kangaroo.
Yeah.
Roger Federer,
Yep.
the wealthiest, the highest paid sports person on this planet. It's over 400 million a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
look, there
I
needs to
love
be-
Rog. I always think he
You
was.
don't begrudge him earning his money, though, do you?
No, I don't begrudge
it
people
also,
like that. Yeah.
all that sports stuff goes back to Caesar, who said, "Give them bread and circuses."
Or we'll kill them.
Well, that's easy.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, look,
Wouldn't you rather
can
start
I
with
get
the
a...
bread and circuses if the other option
So
is
we
they'll
can
kill
move
you?
on. So we can move on. The question I'm going to ask individually.
Okay.
Do you think the salaries have got out of control, and do we need to look at them?
I think they've certainly got out of control, except mine,
All right, fair enough.
which is not
Jen?
out of
Yeah,
control.
definitely. And I think you'd have a whole lot happier people if the CEOs got less and that money was spread down towards
Filtered
the
through.
other. I know that sounds very socialist for me.
I agree.
Very
It is, but
idealistic.
I have always
Yeah.
been a centre right person.
Let's be honest, the staff do the work, and they
the
make
staff
their
do the
CEO look
work.
good.
Can I just bring up one important point when you mentioned being a socialist?
Yeah.
The wealthiest person on this planet is a communist.
There you go.
Putin, who is worth 200 billion,
Yes.
more than Rizzo, whatever
Well,
his name
as I've
is.
always said to you,
He's more than worth
Well, let's move
that
on,
is-
guys.
is Vlad
I
worth more
don't
than
have enough
Bezos?
money
Yeah.
to be a socialist.
I say, give me my own money. Let me do my own shopping.
I didn't
Jen?
know that old Vlad was worth more
Can
than
we move on,
Bezos.
Yeah, of
folks?
course, he
Jen,
thinks
it's your turn.
KGB.
We're running out of time.
Okay, all right. Now I'm
You never asked me
talking
for
about.
my opinion.
It's okay. We got it anyway.
Yeah, I'm talking about the thing that comes up on all our news, everything, every day. Numbers, vaccination
COVID,
rate,
has to be
Okay, so we're in a
A pandemic.
A pandemic. We are very lucky here in Western Australia. I was talking to my ex-sister-in-law in Melbourne the other day, and she said to me,
I'm actually impressed you were talking to your ex-sister-in-law.
yeah, no, we
And what
get
did
along
she
well.
say to you?
She said, well, you're very lucky in Western Australia. And I said, well, all those times you thought I lived in a backwater, this backwater is rocking it.
So what's the gist of what's going on? I mean, are you talking about the fact that, see, the Premier of New South Wales and the Prime Minister now saying we have to live with it.
Yeah.
We have to learn to basically
That's-
vaccinate.
The rest of the world is
and,
saying
and we
that.
have to, and the rest of the world is
Yeah,
open.
but I think that's going to be a very hard sell to particularly Western Australia, Tasmania,
You got to take the
South
politics out of it.
Australia, Queensland,
You're
and
gonna have to
Northern
become
Territory.
objective
Yeah.
about it, Jen.
Do you
What are they
think-
going to do?
But the reality is those 5 territories and states have been relatively COVID-free.
Correct.
We've kept it under control. Now, New South Wales has spoilt it for everybody.
Yes, but I don't
And-
blame New South Wales. Look, I think we spend too much time criticising each other. We're all Australian.
And let's
Yeah.
face it, most of the arguments have been
But-
fought by
Yeah.
people on partisan
And my
political grounds.
argument is here that to be open for business, we have to have 90% at least vaccinations,
Yep.
right? And that's moving towards that. With the government talking about restricting those that aren't vaccinated by keeping them in the house and all that, I think that's scared people enough to go out and get vaccinated.
Well, not here, though.
In fact, research has shown,
probably
showed it was that plus the possibility of
Correct.
getting $300, $400, $500.
I would have
Those
just-
were the two.
Yes.
There is 7% who are definitely anti-vaxxers.
And you're
there
gonna
are
have them.
14% who are hesitant, and there are 80% who, or is 80%,
Will
who
go and do it.
will go and do
I-
it.
But what about the people who can't? I worry about, look, if you choose not to have the vaccine and we have to
That's
open
your
up,
choice, yeah.
that's your choice. But if you've got a medical condition and you can't have the vaccine,
Yeah, but you've got to prove you have a
Yeah,
medical
correct.
condition.
well,
and
there are
doc-
people
you know,
out there
Yeah,
who do
and
have
doctors
medical
have to prove that
conditions.
they've got a justification. Because I speak to people all the time that say they won't have the vaccine. And when I say, why won't you have it? I just don't want it and I won't conform. And then I said, but then you won't be able to go out to meals and
Yeah.
movies. And then they yell at you and say you're discriminating. The problem is,
No, they're discriminating.
so did the virus. It discriminated against people. And I feel down the track, I think Mr. McGowan and all the Labor premiers need to pull back a bit because we're all one country still.
Yeah, the other problem they don't realise, like, for example, a state like Western Australia did okay economically because all of our wealth in this state is created in the regions.
Yes, correct.
Right? Which were well away from the major population centre. I mean, for people on the East Coast, it's hard to realise, if you talk at a place like Perth to Karratha, that is further than Melbourne to Brisbane.
No, look, I
And
agree
this is
with
something that we
I
tend
agree
to
with what
forget.
Jen's the point you're trying to make as well, Jen. I think we do need to take the politics out of it. I do believe our Prime Minister, forget Liberal Labor, our Prime Minister needs to take control of the country. Enough for the states, he consult the states, but it's
Fred,
time
can I
now
ask
for him
you
to be the
this?
boss.
Do you think he can take control, given
Yes.
that he's had 18 months to do it and he
Yes.
hasn't?
I
So do
think
you
he
reckon
can.
he can bring it
States all
back
wanted
online?
to control.
See, yes.
The states all wanted to control their own patch.
I agree.
And to a certain extent, I understand that because circumstances are different
What
for
I'm
each
talking
state.
about is completely different control. I'm talking about constitutionally he has got the right to do it.
Yeah, Section
he can
109.
he can go over them and say, I'm now the boss. I'll give you examples. The GTG passes need to go through Border Force, not McGowan. Right? Kerry Stokes can come in and other people can't.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to
Oh,
stop.
absolutely.
So they've got to go through a central body called Border Force.
Yeah.
That's who should be doing. So we're all treated the same.
But if that happens, all the states will arc up and say the feds
Bad
are
luck.
trying to take control and they're going to work against
Bad
your
luck.
best interest.
I think it's the
I think
Constitution
you're
the
gonna
public will
you're going to
agree.
have a big problem trying to
Yep.
pull all the states back into one.
That is the
It's
problem.
going to be
Exactly right, Jen.
It's
Exactly
going to
right.
be.
The horse has bolted.
Yeah, I think so
You know,
as well.
I
It's
mean,
going to be
they've
very
had the
difficult.
power.
I mean,
But they would ne-
Anastasia
I
Palaszczuk,
think-
she's going to do her own thing.
Look, she's one of the problems.
Yep.
I think I saw her the other day building her own quarantine
Yep.
just to upstage the Prime Minister. That was wrong. I think she should have pulled her head in. He never said no to her anyway. He was going to fund it. I think there's now too many people that are saying, I'm really doing really well in my state. Let me promote it.
But not
let
only
me
that,
tell you,
Fred, don't take another part out of
Yep.
it. Don't forget also the
Yep.
public servants that are driving these people suddenly realise that they're in control of
Correct.
the premier of their respective
Yep.
state and their egos are about this big.
yep. And I
mate,
think there is
they
a problem.
just love it. And,
I'll
and
tell
what
you now-
happens is the premiers are actually sitting there saying, well,
Yes,
I'm
I
taking
know.
the best advice.
I agree with you. I think the problem will be if we have COVID, which we will have in WA.
Of course we will.
The Premier will lock down and then he'll see it a different way. Let's move on because we've only got about 3
yes.
minutes left.
Question
your
for
topic.
you, lady and gentleman. What would you be prepared to shell out taking in mind money? Let's imagine, Ted, that you've got that elusive amount of money, you know, sort of Twiggy Forrest Coke machine kind of money.
It's Ted Musk.
Yes.
I like
Yes.
it.
No, Ted Musk Bezos. Putin.
Yeah, Ted Putin.
Anyway,
My name?
what would you buy? What's something you'd buy as a collector's item?
As a collector's item, Gee, I would love to buy the television set that Elvis Presley shot out.
Wasn't that his Cadillac he shot?
No, it
So
was
you'd
a
buy the
television
TV.
set.
What would you buy?
Range Rover.
I'd love you to buy the
Oh,
West
so
Australian.
you wouldn't buy a collector's item, you just buy yourself a Range Rover.
Yeah, I just want a Range Rover.
Big 260.
I've got a really. I drive a
Big
really
200
crappy car.
What would you buy? Would you buy a car? You'd buy a Ford.
Me?
Yeah.
If I had the money, I'd buy a Maserati Trofeo Ghibli,
Ooh.
3.8 litre V8 twin turbo.
And the reason we're talking about having this money and buying what you
Because
want?
somebody has shelled out $94,500
Yeah.
for the last Ford XR6 highway patrol car in New South
I
Wales.
saw that.
And this week, somebody, I can't remember who the famous person was.
Do you get the flashing lights?
Yeah, oh no, you don't.
They
That's
take
the
everything
part.
off.
You don't get the breathalyzer with it?
Yeah,
No,
they take
you
everything
don't.
off.
That's
That's
a
not-
bait.
It's worth
fun.
about 90 grand, Barb.
So you know what I'd like? Not only that, I'd like the cop shotguns in the boot as well.
Do you remember when
Nobody
you used
would mess
to
with
be-
you on the freeway
You used
then,
to be
would they?
able to buy the ex-police cars here in WA, and they were lowered fronts and the V8s and everything, and you used to get them at the auctions.
And did you have a little dog in the back
No,
window of
I-
yours
I
going up
never
and
had
down?
one. I
Fred
never
Mafrica?
Never had one. Thank you very
Well,
much,
the
Steve.
funny thing is they paid
So you
almost
can be funny.
$100,000 for this car. Now, don't forget, we're not talking about somebody saying, oh, I'm going to buy one of the last Fords, put it in the garage, and, you know, it's only got about 5Ks on the clock and it's all good. I'm going to wrap it in plastic. No. This is one that New South Wales Highway Patrol car is used, right? Reed, they flogged the guts out of it, chasing people all up and down
That's
the Hume. And now
got
they've
mileage
sold it
on
and
it.
somebody's gone, I am going to pay more than 3 times what these second-hand police cars are nearly worth because this happens to be the last police car. What was it? Some famous celebrity
what?
blew their
don't-
nose.
Yep.
And somebody said, would you like to buy the used tissue? And it was $350,000.
a lot of money for a car.
Seriously, maybe Ted and Jen are right
Would you
about some
spend-
people having too much
Let
money.
me ask, if you had 100 grand in your bank account right now, would you buy a car with it?
No, I'd leave
No.
it where it is.
Jen?
Doesn't everybody have 100 grand in there?
But would you use it for a car?
No.
No, and Ted?
No.
And
No
Chris?
way.
No,
Yeah.
I'd drop it
No,
straight
there
on
you
the
go.
mortgage.
There you go.
No.
If you can catch more of those stories online, watoday.com.au, news.com.au, and ABC as well.
.net.au.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Ted.
Oh, it's a
Lovely
pleasure.
to see you back.
Great to be back,
This was a
really.
very good warm-up segment. Everyone was getting heated under the collar. Jen, have a go news as always around new edition
Yeah.
coming out soon.
Yes.
And Chris,
Thank you for having me, Fred.
working very soon at a radio station near you, hopefully the ABC, because I think he'd be very good.
It'd be great.
Imagine him at breakfast.
Oh, he'd be, well,
Exactly.
yes, he'd be good.
We're gonna.
I'm
We're
saying
actually.
nothing.
What we're gonna do. We're gonna go and we've got a very special interview. There's an event coming up very soon called We Inspire. Nisha is centre stage over there with a very special couple of guests. Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you so much, Fred. It's always fantastic to have meaningful charities on board, and this new not-for-profit certainly has a very important message. I'd like to welcome onto the couch today Louise from We Inspire and Chrissy from We Inspire as well. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you
Lovely
for
to be
having
here.
And so beautiful, Louise, you're about to tell us what We Inspire is all about, as you're the founder, and Chrissy is on the board, so playing a very important role with We Inspire Week coming up too.
Yeah. So We Inspire has grown just organically. So we started a year ago as a Facebook group. It was called the Women Entrepreneurs of Perth. And we realised as we were growing that lots and lots of women are in self-development. They were encouraging. Women really wanted to just inspire each other to succeed. And so then we kind of grew into We Inspire, as in, you know, women entrepreneurs inspire. And so then we formed a not-for-profit. We've got 12 on the board. And then we decided to do this We Inspire Week, which is coming up in 2 weeks, and it's all about inspiring women, not just women, but men. We've got the Men's Mental Health Day, but Chris will be talking more on. But the whole 6 days are all about inspiring people, basically, with health, with self-development, with their businesses. And we need inspiration at the moment, don't we? The world needs inspiring.
Yeah. And your holistic approach as well. So talk us through the week. It's so mental health is
Yeah.
Saturday, but what happens before that?
Yeah, well, Mondays is called High Heels and Hot Flashes.
Ooh.
So that's all going to be, that's going to be fun.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. It's all going to be secret women's business. So we've got some doctors coming to speak. We've got Dr. Tamara Hunter coming. We've got people talking about menopause, the menstrual cycle, the wisdom of the menstrual cycle. I'm going to be in a lot. Incontinence. So, yeah, there'll be lots to chat about on the Monday.
And hey, I just want to to say these are some topics, and we were talking earlier, that can be quite taboo or sometimes not spoken about. So you have a real passion, don't you, Louise? Also because you are a comedian at the side. So
I do comedy, yes.
to really put these issues but I guess parts of life at the forefront.
Exactly. I think, and I think comedy is a great element to it. I think we can all have a bit of a laugh about it. So we're doing a couch session every day, which I'll be running. So I'll be doing exactly this.
That would be very
so
funny.
I've got to take some notes today about how you do this. So really to getting some women together to talk a bit of fun and let the audience ask some questions. The Tuesday we're doing skin and weight loss.
Okay.
So it's called Love the Skin You're In. And we've got some amazing speakers. And they've got Wednesday is about self-esteem. The Wednesday I'm really looking forward to. It's got a woman coming to talk who does naked drawings.
Okay.
And So she does charcoal and champagne is her business. We were like, yes,
Charcoal and champagne.
It was charcoal and champagne, but basically she's talking about how you would feel if somebody came into the room and you had to not only look at them naked but draw them.
Yes.
And just how mentally you'd be able to, what you'd get from that. And I'm quite interested about the barriers that you're going to be dropping in your head. We've got all these things about what we're supposed to look like for self-esteem. It's going to be really interesting. And she said she's got a surprise for the audience. I'm not sure what that is. I can only guess.
I can imagine if you're involved organising it, Louise.
I have no. Am I going to be fully dressed by the end of this? Thursday is gut health, and then Friday is all loved up. And we're talking about toxic relationships, loving, better sex. It's going to be really interesting. And then Saturday is mental health. So I'll let Chris talk a little bit.
Wonderful.
It's about men's mental health and women's. So we've got some amazing speakers. Very quickly, we've got John Rich coming to talk about why men don't go to counselling.
Okay,
So
very important topic given the statistics.
Why men don't go to counselling. And then, we're going to be on the couch session that day is going to be Chrissy and Maddie. Both lost a loved one to mental health. And so I'll let Chrissy talk a little bit more about that, because that's the Fragile and Strong brand that we're talking about.
Thank you, Louise, and thank you in advance for being courageous and coming on the show and really talking to your story.
No, I feel that it needs to be spoken about, and I feel that people need to understand, and it's time that we had a voice and time to talk, to let people know that there is help out there, but also, even for people that are survivors of losing someone to suicide, they need to have a voice as well and to be heard. So this is what this is about.
Yeah, and that sense of belonging in terms of you're not in it alone, and the gap of having time to process and support to do that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the inspiration, I can see that the passion and the burn that you have for the day. What are you hoping that ladies or men too, if they come along, would get out of that day on Saturday?
Well, I just want them to know that there is people out there to help, and this is why we've got these Fragile and Strong T-shirts, because we all are fragile and we are strong as well. Yes. They're two emotions that you kind of work together in the same breath. So we want people to know that there is help out there, and that's why we've got all these amazing speakers.
Wonderful. And you have partnered up with some, like Lifeline, for example, but what other sort of organisations? So it's really giving the partnerships
I think we've got Men's Talk coming. We've got a couple of organisations, other coming, sorry, I can't remember off my head, but we've got also Brian Drummond coming, who was in the Bali bombing, and he's going to be talking about how we overcome PTSD. We've got Sarah Raspach coming, who's just opened the first non-alcoholic bottle shop in Perth.
I was like, a
bookshop.
None of the bookshops I've been serve
She's going to
alcohol.
talk about how she got sober.
Yes.
And she's a phenomenal story. She's an amazing woman. She's got a lot of followers. She's coming to talk to us and to let us taste some champagne that's non-alcoholic. So.
Fantastic. Well, ladies, sounds like a lot of experiential learning, a lot of very credible speakers, and really quite a schedule over the week. So we've got to wrap up, unfortunately, but there is so much more information that I'm sure you've got available.
Yeah.
Can you tell us where we go to find out more?
Yeah, sure. So you can go to www.weinspire.com.au. All the tickets are free. We're almost just over half full, so we can still get some tickets are still available. And we'd love to have you, and I'm sure we'll put something on the website where people can just hit and come along. It's at Next Generation Health Club, which is our partners in Kings Park. And it's going to be great. We'll see you there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Louise. Thank you, Chrissy. And we'll look forward to having you on the show to hear more about We Inspire and also Fragile and Strong. Well done, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure. Now, if you've missed any of that, of course, you can go to thecouch.com.au or our Facebook page, and we'll ensure we have all of the details there. But for now, it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Nisha, Louise, and of course Chris from Mop Tops. We'll get her back on and get some daddy and daughter workshops going as well. We haven't had them on for a while. But can I just say, I love the name We Inspire, because with me being naked, I could just imagine what that will inspire people to do. I'll hopefully not throw up. They are a wonderful charity. They'll be back on the couch to promote more of the great work they do. I am very sure of that. Please support them. Go to their website and get involved. We're going to take a break, talking entertainment and music next with Alexander and, of course, Demelza. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the couch. It's always a pleasure to have the two people you're going to meet next on Couch together today. And it's nice to have them back for the season of the couch. Let's welcome back for Talking Music, Demelza Leonard. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And Talking Entertainment, Alexander Sacosta.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you back. Now let's get back into music, because I know you've got some ABBA news for me today.
I do.
You don't have to cover it right at the beginning if you're worried
I'm
about time.
going to make you wait for this one.
That's no change. I've waited 3 years. But Demelza, what's happening in music?
Yes, sadly we do have to start off the music segment today with some sad news. We've lost an iconic drummer for the Rolling Stones, Charlie Watts, who passed away at the age of 80. Absolute legend.
Is it Watts or what?
Watts.
Now, isn't that funny? Because on radio someone rang and said, it's what? It's not Watts, and it is Watts.
It's Watts.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, from what I'm aware of, it
That's
is
what I reckon as well. Thank you.
So he passed away. There hasn't been an official cause of death. However, he wasn't going to be on the tour that they were going to do in the US later this year. We knew that there were health problems. And then Brian Travers from UB40, one of the founding members, has also passed away, sadly, after a very long battle with cancer.
It's been a terrible month. I think we lost one of the Everly brothers as well. So there's been a few people pass away.
There has. I think also we're going to see probably a few more iconic musicians.
It's the age thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're getting to those ages, and COVID as well, around the corner. So we pay tribute to those legends. I mean, I think they're all wonderful in their own right.
Yeah.
And they're amazing people that formed and shaped music in some format.
That's
Especially,
exactly it.
I have to say, Charlie Watt, such a humble man. I remember someone saying a quick story that they wanted him to do a solo, and he said, I don't do solos, I like performing as part of the band. He didn't want to shine on his own, and that was him. Amazing.
Yeah. So very sad news, but play some Rolling Stones in honour of him.
We do. We actually did 2 or 3 days of people requesting that on radio, so it's very good.
And just quickly on that as well, the Rolling Stones tour, they have said they will continue the US tour.
Oh, good to hear.
Even though he's passed.
That is fantastic news.
So that it will still go ahead. Kanye West.
What could you say about him?
He is changing his name.
Why on earth is he changing his name?
Well, funnily you should say this, because I thought if he was ever going to change his name, it would either be Yeezy or Yeezus, but it's actually Ye. So he will be, which is one of the other nicknames that he goes by. So he will be changing his name to Ye. He has put it officially in the California government to say this is what I want to go by. The only way that they will not approve it is if they see that the name is to be used for fraud. So it's looking very, very likely that this is going to happen. The other thing is the Donda album is due to be released any day now. It's been pushed back and back and back and back. It looks like he might be battling Drake for best album for the week, so stay tuned.
We'll look forward to that, eh? Yay.
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 It's
So no surname, just yay. Yay. And what's happening with Amy Shark?
Yeah, so this is another little bit of sad thing, given the current pandemic situation around the country. She had 3 shows left for her Cry Forever tour, and unfortunately that has all been put on hold for now. So that was Perth, Adelaide and Melbourne's shows. She said, however, they will 100% go ahead when the time is right. So stay tuned, or if you've got tickets to those shows, check your place of purchase for
Very
details.
sad. I think with COVID around the world, things are going to be up and down. I mean, we're very lucky here in WA, but as I was talking to the lady from RAC Arena that takes on like people coming from around Australia and international acts, if they can't get into Australia or they can't cross borders, we might as well not be open.
That's, yeah.
So they do a lot of local artists, which is a good opportunity for local comedians, local musicians from Perth or WA to shine a little bit. But what's happening to those local artists that I love? ABBA.
Wow.
I can hear the drums, Demelza.
Well, the website, they released a website this week where
Another
they have
one.
encouraged people, it's called ABBA Voyage, and they've encouraged people to sign up for more information and to register their interest. Rumour has it is in regards to their hologram tour that was announced a few years ago, so it's coming, and there will be five
songs, I hear.
5 new songs to come up with the show.
Do you reckon they recorded those songs when they did the other 2 as a backup? Because
Possibly.
they wouldn't have got back together in 3
We've
years.
been talking about it's been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, so it'll be really interesting.
It's the sad thing about ABBA, and I guess it's up to them, but it's all about music, money. It's all about money with them. The website, I'm amazed they don't ask for a membership fee for everyone who joins up. But it'll be good to see something come out very soon.
It's something, so it'll be interesting to see how modern it is, or whether it's how we know ABBA and have loved ABBA.
Them. Well, you know, if we take Benny by his word, he said it'll be just like the old ABBA.
So thank you for the money. I mean the music. Thank you for the music.
Talking about music, let's have a look at the top 3 for this week.
Yep.
And they are as follows.
Coming
number 3.
in at number 3, it's Olivia Rodrigo with Good For You.
Yeah, one of Alexander's favourites.
It's a banger.
Number 2.
At number 2, it's Ed Sheeran with Bad Habits.
I like him as well. And at number 1.
Number 1, it's the Kid Laroi featuring Justin Bieber and Stay, produced by 2 Perth boys.
Isn't that good?
So Zach and
I love the
Fnatic
new
have
Justin
produced
Bieber.
the
He's
number
doing
1
really,
track.
really well. So
Yeah.
well done to Justin. Thank you very much.
Thank
That's
you.
Talking Music for this
That
week.
is.
Stick around as we talk entertainment. Welcome back, Alexander Sacosta. You've got a whole page
Fred,
of entertainment
a
stuff.
whole page. It's like the entertainment world doesn't stop.
What have we got?
Well,
so what's happening with Jlo?
What's happening with
Ben
Jlo?
Affleck.
Jlo is back together with Ben Affleck.
As in relationship together?
As in relationship back together,
Well, good luck
official.
to that.
And Instagram, there's photos, there's everything. They're wearing matching outfits. And they were 17 years ago engaged to be married. Before then, he obviously went and had children with Jennifer Garner.
You hear about this all the time where people drift and then they get back together for whatever happens and then they're in love again.
Yeah.
But how many years? 17?
17 years later.
And they're going to get engaged?
Well, that's the belief,
The
but
rumours?
it turns out they were just shocked. He was just doing a treasure hunt looking for jewellery, is what he said.
They look pretty close to me.
And I think it's interesting always with their kind of names, because I don't know if you guys both know, but I'll test you already now.
Right.
So when there's Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck,
Yeah.
what was their name as a couple?
Benefar.
Benefar, correct.
Benefar.
Demelza,
Oh,
well
well
done.
done.
That's 1 to Demelza, everyone.
That's
next
not
one.
fair. She probably saw them in the green room.
Fred,
J-Lo
no one
doesn't
likes
go.
a
All
negative.
right, let me try
J-Lo.
this one before you. Okay.
Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. What have we got?
Banana.
Banana? Demelza?
I saw the back of that one.
What is it? What is
The
it?
correct answer is Garfleck.
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 Oh, it is horrible, isn't
Yeah,
it?
no, what a beautiful name. And I thought I would prepare for the inevitable. So Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck, and Jennifer Garner all together.
That would be a criminal offence.
Is that your final answer?
No.
I've locking in Garf Lopez.
Garf Lopez.
I feel like that really kind of encapsulates all
you've
their
gotta
names in a
say it
really
in an
fun
accent.
way.
Garf Lopez.
So on the news, they'll be like, Garf Lopez was spotted out at the beach yesterday.
It'll never happen. But good names.
Right.
I do think they're very creative.
We never thought Ben and Jen would be back together, but
No, I
Ben and
know.
Jen found Jen and Ben.
I'm still
with Jen.
waiting for, what's his name? Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. But they're both married, obviously. So,
No, they're not.
aren't they? Oh, I could be psychic.
They're single again. I'm pretty sure both
I
of them.
hope they get back together again.
Jolly
Because
Pitt Aniston.
everybody needs to love.
Is that another ABBA song?
No, forget it. Long show, party of 5. What's happening with the Blue Wiggle?
What is happening with the Blue Eagle? He actually went on Nova's Fitzy and Whipper, and he actually spoke about how he actually doesn't sing live, because apparently he's got a really deep sounding
Are you
voice.
serious? What did they do with him
He
mixing?
Simon Price, the Red Wiggles voice, he lip syncs to it. So really, we're just hearing the Red Wiggle twice. Isn't that crazy?
But you know what? And you're an entertainer. With
Sure.
that type of show, it'd probably be very normal that they mime. You
Yeah,
would never
mime
know.
to their own vocals, though. I mean, he's miming to the other guy who's also miming to his vocals. Look at them. Oh,
reckon
and also we got the new people.
Yep.
So the Wiggles have added all of these new people to the group, which is fantastic, kind of diversifying
It's a
the cast.
long-term business plan, eh?
They are smart business people.
Do you reckon it's going to hurt them, the Blue
Not
Wiggle?
at all.
No, I don't
Not
think
at
so.
all. This is kind of an international brand, and to have more kind of these key people will
Demelza,
just help.
does your son love the Wiggles?
He does.
Which ones?
Very
Are you
Are you going
much
to
so.
tell him about the miming thing?
No, I will not tell him the Wiggles are doing Milli
He'll say, what are you
Vanilli.
talking about, Mum? Well, interesting times ahead for the Wiggles. I'm glad they've got a future as well. Bringing in new talent, young
It's
talent
great.
is great. What's happening with the Rolling Stones? We're dropping that one, aren't we? Because we talked about that.
Yes. that
We
is
were going
very
to talk
sad.
about Charlie Watts again, but
Yes.
since we spoke about it, great drummer. can
We
I
are
just say.
talking, though, about Disney and their unprecedented public moves against Scarlett Johansson. So obviously Scarlett Johansson's movie Black Widow, due to the COVID pandemic, was rescheduled and launched on Disney Plus, the platform
there you
for
go.
premiere access. So it meant people would watch it from home and pay an extra fee. But
Yeah.
that did mean that then her initial contract didn't factor into that, because she was told she'd get a wide cinema release and she would get a percentage of the back end of that and numbers based on stats and things like that. She came out saying that she is owed more money. Disney said that their contract was in place for that, and now they've kind of created this public image, which is making her trying to go after her, saying that she's somewhat being selfish, which I think is unfair.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think if she is the talent who has built up that character over 10 years now,
Reward
and
her.
it's her movie,
If it
and she
was
was
a-
the one who didn't get the big cinema release because
Let me
of the
put it to you this way:
pandemic.
if it was a man,
Yeah,
would they
exactly
just
right.
paid him? If Spider-Man said, "I don't want to do it unless you pay me more," will they just replace him?
Right.
No. So be fair.
Yes,
And pay her
100%.
what she's rightly due. And the other thing I'd like to ask you is: have you been keeping an eye on what's been happening in Australia in the way of the Masked Singer? Apparently, there was a little bit of a mishap. I'm not too sure what it is, but someone tells me that maybe one of the heads came off. Because
And we found out they were actually a celebrity.
well, no, apparently probably they weren't, but
Oh.
and they were sworn to secrecy. But it'd be maybe in the next couple of weeks when you're back.
Yes.
Maybe we can look at some of the Australian TV shows like Celebrity Big Brother,
Yes.
The Masked Singer, and other shows, the brand new ones, and also Packed to the Rafters.
Yes, that's
What's
the last
happening
thing we
with
want to
that?
talk about. It's back again.
I took out the membership to the
this
Paramount, and then
family.
ended up with 13 old episodes.
Yay. Just when you thought we weren't
What a way
packed
to
enough,
con people.
here they are all back again.
Is it
And
called
it's-
Back to the Rafters?
Yes, but in my case, it's called Trapped by the Rafters. I've said that before. Because they won't
I don't
stop
know.
forcing themselves on us. But I love that. It's great.
Look, Seven were very clever, Alexander.
To sell the show.
They basically didn't take the risk because they sold it to Paramount.
Yes.
But the catch is they're covering their bets both ways. If it rates really
It's
well...
actually on Amazon Prime Video.
Amazon, is it?
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
And the problem with this is, if it doesn't rate, Seven have already made their money.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but that a lot of television's been taken off television.
Well,
Free to
true.
wear, I'm talking
And now
about.
we're democratising and we're moving to this very different space. So, kind of, what's the future of Australian TV shows? Will it be these international companies coming in and filming here? Will they be
I don't
making
get
them?
it. I just don't get it. I don't like that they're... I don't mind all the streaming services. I
Yeah.
find that's great. But the problem is now you end up having to have all four of them to watch the
Six of
stuff
them.
that you want. Or six, can I say? And Foxtel as well, which
Yeah.
I have. So it's quite expensive.
Yes.
So I wonder if there'll be a package one day where we pay $50 a month and get all of them.
All of them. I think people just rotate through. Like, as a show they like
3
comes,
months.
they'll,
Yeah.
move on to the next 7-day free trial.
Yeah, look, I agree. There's a lot of Australian TV. There's a show called 5 Bedrooms. That's the one I was thinking
Yes.
of. Channel 10 own that show.
Yes.
They put it on Paramount. Paramount is part of CBS. So there's a money maker there. And when I did sign up for the 3 months, I found it was just the old episodes. So they're very
Right.
clever getting you in.
Yes.
So, yeah, you just have to shop around, I guess. But interesting times at Wentworth, can I tell you?
Please.
Wentworth on Foxtel Showtime has just started a couple of weeks ago. There's 10 episodes left. So if you love Prisoner, this was the remake. It rates number 1. It's an amazing show. Won so many Logies, but they've wound it up. Foxtel have decided there's no more after this. They've sold the set. They've got rid of it all, and all those amazing women actresses that are on those shows
Yes.
will come to an end in about 9 weeks.
And then they'll be appearing on Packed to the Rafters.
Possibly.
Yes.
Or Neighbours. Home and Away.
They'll just move in the prison onto the street on
Was there
Neighbours.
anything else we forgot to cover today?
That's everything.
No.
Look forward to seeing you both in a couple of weeks' time. Of course, Alexander Sacosta, thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
And
David.
Demelza Leonard, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. Now, you thought they were lively. Somebody else is coming in. Joanne Colelli coming in to paint my image. That will take a while after this. Welcome back to the couch. Oh, Michael's moved over there. Hello, camera 4. Welcome back to the couch to you too. Thanks for watching today. I hope you're enjoying the program. You're going to enjoy this one. I have been told that I'm going to be happy at the end of this, and you're going to see me like never before, and I'm not taking my clothes off. But Nisha has got our fantastic, artistic, talented charity person. Her name is, of course, Joanne Kaleli. Who else would it be? Over to you, Nisha.
Wonderful. Thank you, Fred. And yes, I hazard a guess you can be very surprised at the end of this segment. Welcome back to the couch, Joanne.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Now, art is a great way to solve lots of issues in the world, but it's very good for the body and the well-being, and you do a lot of stuff out in Perth and internationally as well.
Yes.
What have you been up to or engaging with lately?
Well, right now, I'm actually, Fred, just turn to the right a little bit there. I'm actually going to be painting Fred while we have a chat. But yeah, it's been amazing. Like, as you know, I've painted the Prime Minister recently and the Premier. And now I'm painting someone very famous right now.
You've got Fred. And we should say, Jo, that you don't just paint, it's an entertainment, it's a show, and you engage with other artists, fashion designers, great people in the world, yeah?
Absolutely. I'm actually collaborating with a fashion designer right now. I will get back to that, but what I want to tell you is I've actually recently been contacted by Kelly Slater and Anthony Mundine.
Fantastic.
Which is so exciting. Yeah. So they would love for me to paint them, and we will be making, and I said to them, well, what charity would you like this painting to go towards? And they've actually asked for it to go to Dr. Charlie Teo Foundation, because Kelly's father actually had brain cancer, and so he wanted, and Dr. Charlie Teo actually saved his life, so he actually wanted to give it to someone who, to give back, because he's such a special person.
It's a meaningful link.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But it's really interesting because Mundine, in his career, he's actually given away to charity $10 million to help people. And at the moment on his LinkedIn, he's actually talking about if there's any families out there in Sydney who can't afford, their businesses aren't going so great, they can't afford to put food on the table for their kids, to contact him directly. Beautiful. And he'll actually help them, which is just incredible.
And that's his organisation, MGM. Yeah. Okay, so people can find them on Facebook or website?
Yes, on LinkedIn. So it's actually MGM Construction Company, which is Mundine Ghosh Management. And it's actually Ghosh and Mundine have collaborated together. And they actually help Indigenous people and children of all cultures to have an entry level into building and construction. So they're actually creating jobs for kids, which I think is such a wonderful thing.
And what's wonderful too is that you have managed to get in there and assist with your artistry. You're doing a really good job there. That's looking amazing. Yeah.
Oh, it looks
You've definitely
just
got
like
his best side. Beautiful, Fred.
Just like him.
Yeah, that looks really good. Okay. Now, what else? You have so many other exciting things happen. We had Maurizio on the show previously as well. You're doing some work with him.
Yes. Sorry.
It's getting all very exciting.
It is. So we are actually opening our doors in Claremont.
Make sure I don't look fat.
You're looking really good.
It's amazing. So we're actually opening our doors in Claremont, number 38 Bayview Terrace in Claremont, where fashion meets art. So my artwork will actually go on to some amazing sustainable art fashion. And on the 11th of September, there is an event called La Grande Bellezza in the Swan Valley.
Beautiful.
And we will have 50 pieces of fashion, all paraded in a Renaissance Italian style. There will be Julia Bishop there, there will be Lisa Scaffidi, a whole heap of celebrities, and I will be painting live a horse racing while I actually have dancers around me and a full orchestra.
So this
why
is entertainment value, right? And
Absolutely.
Tell us about the suggestion Maurizio made about what you might do there to actually run up. And...
Okay. So he actually wanted me to run at the canvas while screaming, throwing pails of paint, just for entertainment value. But I said to him, we are not in New York.
We're in Claremont,
I think we're a bit more conservative here in Pep. So I might actually do it in a very different way.
Okay.
I won't reveal. You have to come and then you'll see how I do this.
Fantastic. And Claremont's been very supportive, haven't they? So they really want something outdoors and mixing disciplines and creativity.
Yes, we want to really bring something amazing to Claremont. And what I find is when I teach art to adults and to children is people come to me and they actually tell me they can't draw and they can only do a stick figure, but I can almost guarantee when they walk away that they'll walk away with something that they're absolutely proud of. And, you know, for me, it's about giving back and making people feel good about themselves, you know.
You are so well curated yourself, but I like the line you constantly draw between the importance of teaching, learning, and then the self-esteem, most importantly with young kids.
Oh,
So we need
so
that now, right?
important. Oh, now more than ever.
Yeah.
And I think more and more people are becoming much more aware of that. Now, this is actually, I just want to talk about this. So I'm feeling like right now I'm really... I'm really capturing you, Fred. I'm catching the inner child.
Bit of resilience.
Resilience and sensitivity and strength. But you know what? But in all fairness, in absolute honesty, I actually feel like I've captured the cheeky twinkle that you always have in that eye and the kindness that I see when I see you.
Nisha, do I have clothes on?
Yes, mostly.
Hey, I'm not doing, Leonardo DiCaprio, painting one of my French girls.
I just wondered why she asked for the nude photo. Obviously nothing to do with the painting.
No, that was nothing to do with it.
That might be to do with an event coming up,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Very much a
Got your
fundraiser.
red shirt.
So there's also going to be, oh wow, beautiful. So there's going to be an opening event for your store as well.
Oh, yes. So I get the key this week, which is so exciting. We'll officially be opening our doors in 2 weeks' time. Early October, there will be a launch of the opening, and Maurizio never does anything in halves. So it's going to be the opening that no one in Perth has ever seen before. So I will be advertising that on my website.
Beautiful.
www.joannecoleliart.com.
Wonderful. That's very good. And we're really, it's amazing. She works wonders, this lady. She's really captured pretty much your whole
hang on, I'll just
face,
get
body.
your
Yeah,
glasses.
I think we need to get the glasses on there. That's beautiful. That's amazing. So maybe, are we ready for the reveal? I feel like we're really close.
I'm so excited. It's time.
We're ready.
It's time.
Okay,
Fred, are you ready?
Are you ready? Warm up.
Just before you show us
Warm
the
up.
picture, Joanne, you've got a couple of people you need to thank.
I do.
Who supplied your art?
Osborne Park, thank you so much for my paints today. I really, really appreciate that. If you want the best art supplies in Perth, that's where you need to go, Guthrie Street.
And who's your best makeup artist as well?
Jade from Jade's Creations. You can find her on Facebook. She's the one responsible for my hair and makeup. You should have seen her before. Oh, she's a genius. She's got magic.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Here we go.
Okay.
Turn it around, Joe.
Have you got his face?
Yeah, I'll
Ready?
take my glasses off and
We've
put them
got
back
you.
on. Ooh, I could... Look, it's not normal, but I could definitely fall in love with that person. Hot. And the hair's the same colour. Bring it over, Joanne.
Yeah. Lovely.
Oh, Joanne, that is... can I just say... That is beautiful. If I could put a clip on it, Joanne, I'd wear that as an ID card. It's just a bit... That is beautiful. Thank you.
Mwah.
Joanne Coleli Art. You do an amazing job. Probably you're in bad light at the moment, but that's okay. This is amazing. Can I just say how fast you painted? And I can't believe it's dry as well. It's amazing. It is. You are an amazing artist. Can I say?
7 minutes.
I'm going to be really nasty here and say mine has been the best that I've seen.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Is it because you've got?
Topped him.
Is it because the subject needs
Sorry,
to be?
ScoMo. Sorry, we've beat you.
Is it the subject that makes it perfect?
Absolutely.
I must agree. The lines are beautiful, and it's probably the way I'm going to look in about a year's time.
Can you see the cheekiness?
I can. Hot as well. Can I just say? Men and women around Australia will be now salivating. Is that the word? But look, it is wonderful. Thank you very much, Joanne. Joanne, tell us your website again into that camera there for.
Oh, yes, it's www.joannecoleliart.com.
And go to her shop opening, which is when?
Oh, my shop opening will be in 2 weeks' time, number 38 Bayview Terrace in Claremont. And the event of the year
Yep.
will be on 11th of September. Please look at my site and I will give you all the details to book your ticket.
Well done. Thank you very much. Joanne Kaleli, she does a great job. Please look out for her. Please sponsor her as well, because she does this all out of the goodness of her heart, and she does so much fundraising. Love having you on the show.
Thank
you to
you.
Nisha as well for being there for us. We're going to take a quick break. Joanne will be back on the couch again down the track as well, because she's always doing stuff. And we've got some cooking coming up right after the break. See you then.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome back to the couch. Always nice to have Nisha standing right next to me. Today you've got a fresh and local guest that is amazing, Chris Howard,
Yes,
chef.
you do.
And we're cooking, looks like you're cooking something seafood.
Yes, yes.
So I'll leave it with you and I'll be
Thank
back at
you.
the end.
Thank you so much. Chris Howard joins us from the Humble Onion. Now, you are not only the chef, but co-owner.
That's right, yeah. It's my first venture as a restaurant owner.
Fantastic. Where is the Humble Onion?
The Humble Onion is at 100 St George's Terrace. It's actually located in the old greenhouse building at the bottom of NX 100, so quite a well-known Perth restaurant building.
Beautiful, and very well known because you not only have wonderful dishes, but there's quite a dynamic story behind how you put them all together as well.
Yeah, we're always trying to be different without sort of being weird. We're never out to sort of challenge people for no reason, but also I like to do things a little bit my own way. So nothing's ever quite what it appears to be, and nothing's ever strange for the sake of strange.
Beautiful. So I'm very interested and curious to see what we'll be making today.
Sure.
Do you want to talk us through the dish?
Absolutely, yeah. So today we're going to be making an octopus salad. We undoubtedly have some of the best octopus in the world coming out of Fremantle. So we try to utilise the best ingredients as close to home as possible. So Freo has to be on the menu. So we're going to be doing an octopus salad. So pretty classic. Octopus salad isn't weird, but the way we're going to do it is probably a little bit different. So
Nice. Okay, so let's go through the ingredients. What do we have?
awesome. So our starter salad today is a panzanella. So panzanella is a crouton-based salad. So we have some croutons here. Whoops, sorry, I had to lose a few of those.
Don't worry, I will eat those. These just aren't any croutons though. You've made these croutons.
Yes, so we make basically everything at the Humble Onion. We kind of like making everything.
Are you a Humble Onion at the Humble Onion?
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a story behind the name, but onions are an amazing common denominator for all ingredients, but also I feel like they're a real understated ingredient. You kind of, to eat one raw would be pretty offensive, but as soon as you get some butter and some thyme going, you know, everyone's like, what's for dinner, you know, and I think that's a really, a real strong suit of the onion. So
Beautiful narrative. Okay, so we've got beautiful.
we have our beautiful bread croutons. Because we're heading into spring, we're going to be using some asparagus as well. So this could be broad beans, peas, asparagus, runner beans, green beans, anything you like. But that crunchy green veg is really going to be that lovely fresh feeling for this sort of salad. Because we still are just coming out of winter and we try to preserve everything we have, we've also made a mushroom agrodolce here as well.
And I can really smell that. That's
Absolutely, yeah. So agrodolce just means sweet sour. So we take our beautiful mushrooms, which actually come from the mushroom guys down in Palmyra. So just near Cardinia, very local, even closer than Fremantle
That's
maybe.
in Perth, yes.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah,
For those
yeah.
watching over East.
And they grow absolutely amazing mushrooms. Our challenge, both just to be as minimal with our wastage, but also now as an owner as well as a chef, I'm trying to, you know, keep my wastage to an absolute minimum. So any of the mushrooms that aren't still good to be fried, or we get to the end of the week, we dehydrate them and we use them for sauces and broths and things. But I also use them for this agrodolce, where I'll rehydrate them in a pickle made with onions and garlic and lots of aromats. So very, very flavoursome, but also keeping the best of our produce as well.
I love the sustainable development goal focus in your business.
Absolutely.
That's good. Okay, what else do we have? Quickly,
We have some whipped ricotta, which has just been finished with a little bit of lemon and some lemon zest for some clean. And we also need some fat to sort of bind the dish together. We have some really simple soft herbs, which are just going to lift things and make them nice and fresh. We have a little bit of a lemon vinaigrette as well, which again is just for clean, and some sea salt to bring it all together.
Beautiful. Okay, so you are the chef,
Awesome.
so I'm
No
going
worries
to get
at
you to
all.
talk us through the importance of the dish. There we go.
So we'll get some of our croutons into a little bowl.
So do you think everyone can obviously make this at home to a
Absolutely.
degree, which is why we're showing it today, which is exciting?
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. And you can change things out for what you have. It's always good to make croutons out of your old bread. I love them through salads. Seeing that you can dehydrate your mushrooms and things. So these very much the dressing that they're preserved in is very much a part of the dish as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
So we want the croutons to kind of absorb some of that.
So this is part of your lunch menu because I understand you're open lunch times during the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're open Tuesday to Friday for lunches with a very sort of like this elevated but simple mindset and somewhere to get a nice clean meal at lunch in the CBD. is always a
Elevated
good
but
thing.
simple. I love that.
Absolutely. We like to say we're simple but we're not basic. That's always our thing. We'll add some of our asparagus as well.
Yes.
A little bit.
Fantastic.
So again, this could be green beans or broad beans or anything of the best of the season really. We'll give that a bit of a mix. And then I'll dress with some of our lemon vinaigrette.
And I love that we're focusing on the salad too, right? Because it's a really important part of this dish.
So we're just going to make this lovely little salad. Whoops, lost a guy there.
It's okay. It's so excited. It's jumping out.
Absolutely. I could have also brought a smaller bowl if I tried, but that's fine.
It's all
I'm going
good.
to get a little season with some sea
We
salt.
like to do things differently.
So the first thing we'll actually do, so once this is just sitting, our croutons will be absorbing some of that dressing. We're going to set with some of our whipped ricotta here as well. So I'm going to pipe this down on the plate.
And all these ingredients we can get mainly from supermarket, but obviously we also need to think about keeping and making from other places.
Absolutely, yeah, without doubt. Yeah, these are all very readily available things. I mean, without ricotta, it could be some labneh if you had yogurt that you could hang and thicken. It could be sour cream. Goat's cheese would also work. It's really very much up to you, and that's what we try to do. So once our fat goes down, we're going to start adding some of our salad here.
Beautiful. Oh.
I thought you called me, I'm sorry.
Never say that.
Amazing.
Smells amazing.
Hey, Chris, tell us again where your restaurant is.
It's at 100 St George's Terrace at the bottom of the NX 100 building next to the Trinity Church.
The Humble Onion?
The Humble Onion. It's a bright orange square covered in a big steel lattice.
What time are you open?
We open at 7 in the morning for takeaway. So we do takeaway coffee and a couple of sandwiches and things like that.
I think Nisha and I probably want to just sit down.
Yeah.
There's a lot on your menu we like.
Yes,
No,
definitely.
it looks amazing. I love the fact that you're in doing this rustic dish, but also it's different, isn't it? It's beautiful. It looks amazing, doesn't it, Nisha?
It does.
We're going to add a little bit of our onions here.
Please support this a great restaurant, the Humble Onion. Isn't it amazing? If I invented the onion, I would have been rich because every single recipe. Have you noticed the onion's the base for everything?
Everyone needs
Are we
onions.
going to try it? I think they want us to try it out because they want us to wrap it up.
So we have our
Shall we get
panzanella here. We're going to apply our octopus.
Okay.
Here you go, Nisha.
Thank you.
And our octopus is going to lay over the top like this.
Through that.
This is amazing how you put this together too. So this
What
is
we
how
might do is
And
I
our
might just
octopus.
pick it up and hold it to camera.
Yeah.
If we can.
That one.
Is that all finished, ready to go?
And our octopus.
Oh, clean the plate. These chefs love cleaning the plate. I usually clean the plate, but I use my tongue.
gorgeous. So Chris, how do you put this octopus together?
So this, we poached this in a pot with some aromats, a little bit of vinegar, some wine, bay leaves and things. Once it's nice and soft, so just to push through, we then roll it into a torchon. So we roll it incredibly tightly. We stab it, make a lot of holes inside to let the air and the excess liquid out, and we press it under a weight. So as it sets from being hot, the collagen holds the octopus together to the point that we can actually shave it on the meat slicer. And then what we get is our octopus salad here.
Can I grab that plate?
Absolutely.
Because what we want to do you want to grab a fork for yourself as well?
I only brought two.
I think it's
spoon, don't worry.
Let's do it. Let's try it. Thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. It's thecouch.com.au. And we'll catch you next week. Thank you to Chris Howard, of course, from the Humble Onion. Thanks to Nisha. Thanks to all our wonderful crew. We've done a great job today. And thank you for watching around Australia, all over Australia, whether you're in lockdown or in open. Here in WA, we are in Adelaide and other states. We'll see you next week on The Couch, episode 707, is it? Next week? 707. Until then, I'm going to try this.
Amazing. Well done, Chris.
I
Thank
think
you. I'll be seeing you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
That's amazing.
See you next
love
week.
this.
Bye-bye.
Beautiful.
On the couch with us. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da. On the couch with us.